and present it, sir.
1 minute, 1 minute. I'm not able to. 1 second, 1 second. Now able to see that slide?
Yes, the slide
Yes,
name is health.
yes, sir. We are able to see, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Now, if you ask me what the definition of health is, please see is a positive state of health mentally, physically, spiritually, and socially. That is holistic. So, in tackling this disease, one must be mentally sound enough to accept it, and society must be taken care of. Spiritual in the sense not that religion or anything bringing, and knowing your own self-realization and our strength and life, what it is, that is what spirituality is. So, one must be able to come up in life, and having come up, we must say that all society is being supported. I always ask this slide and put it, what do you see in the slide? And we always see that one black spot, maybe in that we may not see that one. And the real sense, don't focus on the black spot. It is a white screen is very important because there is nothing in the world without any problem. So what Abhaya used to say, Kittarain Vettanamara. Don't bother about if we don't have it. Now, as Thiruvalluvar said, Noi Nadi, Noi Mudal Nadi, Aditanikum, Vai Nadi, Vaipet Sayal. So most important now, even after 2000 years later, it's still applicable. You must find out the disease cause, but prevention is the most important, as you correctly stressed. So what do you mean by one generation? It may be interesting for you. One generation is between your year of birth and your first child birth is one generation. So it will be varying individual to individual. So one between the two in year of your birth and the year of the birth of the first child, the gap. Why I'm meaning that one? You must take care of our existence now. We must take care of our generation now. And the science what you are learning is must go on generations together. Why I'm saying that every precautions what you are now you are taking for the corona COVID-19, don't stop doing after that if you come out, because some other way the COVID-19 now at 2020 become 2030. Every time it must teach us a lesson how you must be able to protect ourselves by keeping all the precautions what you are doing for COVID. Once it's over, you overcome it, don't think this is the one you must follow it. And these are the slides, you know that is a Periyar, Kamaraj, Anna, MGR, Maharishi. Why I'm showing them? I happen to be the cardiologist for everyone about 40, 50 years back. I was very lucky to be with them and having giving them medical advice to them. And another important is the one I always enjoy when both of us shared about same platform and address about 15,000 students. And when I ask many people, what is the blood group you prefer to have? Everyone will say O group, because O group is universal donor, they can donate the blood to everyone. But what I see is the best thing is be positive. So even this corona COVID-19, the be positive attitude is very, very important. Never become panic. I used to say if you want to live for more than 100 years, never get caught by the police. You must not need help of a lawyer, and never get caught or go to doctors, especially Chockalingam or anyone, because life may become miserable. The idea of telling this one is please keep all the three for you to become and use them as a friend to make your life more useful and purposeful. The three killer diseases is a heart attack, now you can say the corona COVID-19, or this cancer, or accident. I even to the extent I can be saying that it's lifestyle disease. If you're going to keep your lifestyle positive in every aspect, definitely the coronavirus can be prevented entering you because of our carefulness. One must be able to. So even though I say lifestyle disease of various things we are going to now say shortly, this also can be included in lifestyle. I will tell you how we can bring in this one. I used to say the three mantras, even that COVID, please remember that. One, be positive in thinking, be healthy in eating, be adequate in exercising. When I'm saying that all food are really good in vitamins, natural foods, avoid the tin foods and everything as much as possible. Good vegetables, fresh vegetables, and everything. And exercising now you cannot go out because of lockout, but do the exercise, static, aerobic in the house, whatever thing, at least brisk walk, jogging, whatever thing, accept it and happy because first we must protect our life, very important. We need money for our to be happy, no doubt. Now you are in the problem of economic crisis and all the things are going down now. But to be happy, you need money. But when you are earning money, many they become unhappy during the process of earning. Now unhappy because you don't have money at all. No, difficult to even earn now. But whatever thing must accept it. If you are going to become more and more unhappy, we have to come to Dr. Chockalingam, either with a heart attack or with infection. Please remember that. What I used to say is number of times, please remember, we need money for us. One after that, any number of zeros may add it. But please remember, the value of zeros only when one is there because the one is what your life is. So losing you and adding zeros to that, please remember, no meaning at all. So I used to say, it's not the success really giving happiness, and being happy is the greatest success. Why I'm stressing happiness? The moment in any situation we're going to be happy, our endorphin secreted increases immunity like anything. Thereby, you will have natural immunity not only for this coronary COVID 19, for any infections you will become resistant if you're going to be happy and immunity. I used to ask among the two, if you're going to have which one will win. Many will say that tortoise like that, what you call male army. I used to say both will win, only one thing will fail is முயலாமை ஒன்லிதான் தோக்கும் தவிர முயலும் ஆமையும் இரண்டும் வெற்றி அடையும். So when you are going to be in the situation of corona, when you are going to enter the factory or any place like that, the stress level, it must be positive. What is a positive stress? Happiness from all happenings positive. The moment if you are going to depress, anxious, become negative one, it becomes like tsunami. Unhappiness will kill you. So its mindset is positive. So what is it? What do you mean by stress is a reaction of mind and body to the environment. So environment, let it be anything. You be positive and accept it and be careful, prudent enough, then you can live nicely. You know that man evolved about 60 lakhs, 6 million years ago. At that time, we have been fighting in the jungle, in the forest like that, where we are able to see the big animals, we can fight and kill them. But unfortunately now, this 10 nanometers, the smallest, the virus that is, we cannot say, and no question having any weapons to fight unless we isolate ourselves, distancing from that. Because zoonotic animal is given us, but human being only can give to human being. That is what every steps you must take to make that you must win the war of corona by means of our prudent action. But see here, this person unfortunately how he becomes. See this person how he becomes. They are all really very, very prone for any diseases, more so even COVID. So less is more, less luggage is more comfort, please remember. in my relation to the weight, or relation to the mental strain. And he used to say that please avoid these four negative thoughts. A is anxious, avaricious, and all the time agitated, or depressed, distressed, dissatisfied. And those who are wearing masks, we call concealed, or they don't communicate freely, compressed. And I invented one type, is a type E about 16 years back, say exchanging personality. All the four must be avoided, especially in the situation of corona. So no A, D, B, C, and E. So why I'm saying this one, a very important slide for you to connect. Suppose you are all the time worrying and that isolation making you depressed. The negative hormones like adrenaline, noradrenaline, cortisol will increase. Instead of that, if you're going to be positive, you will accept it. Don't worry about the facts. Please remember type B personality, which I'll tell you shortly. The endorphin, serotonin, melatonin, the hormones will. So the hormones are positive, negative, only your mindset. Once it is like that, if you're going to be a negative one, see here, psycho, neuro, humoro, viscero, immune response. When it's going to be negative, the immunity will come down because of various things. Even it become much more prone for coronavirus and it may get into a lot of complications. So how this personality, how the central nervous system, how that our positive negative attitude. And this is a very important side I want everyone. This is the slide I used to use it for lifestyle diseases. How we are going to combine this one with our corona is an infections, a communicable diseases. So the communicable one with the non-communicable disease, I want to bring in to our friends. See, the moment you are stressed, your tendency to eat over, more so, the food will be a fatty things. You put on weight now in the last 40 years, 45 days like that, 2 months, and you feel that you don't have any work, and thereby you become sedentary. And some may become now thinking, okay, they get depressed, smoking alcohol. And all these things will make you more prone for corona. We won't be in a position to fight, your immunity will come down. And the cycle in addition to that, making your cholesterol go up, sugar will come up, pressure will come up. So either you die of corona, COVID, that effect on the lungs, or you may die of this cycle resulting in heart attack. So please remember, I'm not here to frighten you, to make you to aware of it, so that how the negative lifestyle of this cycle make you prone for coronavirus is also very important. That's what the children also one must protect them now. And is the one to just to say, when the blood vessels are blocked, we get a heart attack. This is the slide which shows. And one important fact I want to tell my friends, we all must need cholesterol. Either good or bad, it must be there in the blood. As long it is in the blood, nothing will happen to that. It is mandatory. The cholesterol in the blood is very important for the function of all organs, including our heart, brain, all the system, the body is maintained by our cholesterol, by both good and bad, as long it is in the blood only. See here, the moment if you are under chronic stress, that immunity will come down, the corona will come in. Corona, which is there, become more active. But at the same time, please see in this slide, whenever it is chronic stress, the cholesterol that is in the blood, it gets deposited gradually into the blood vessel. That's what maybe 50, 90 like that. When it becomes 100%, we get a heart attack. So chronic stress is responsible for the blocking. Suppose you are now acute stress. Suppose you are now with the corona, various things of isolation, and you are worried about what is that, how the future will be, worried about life itself, all the things, plus financial constraint, everything. If you're going to be acute stress, what happened? Please remember, very important. The blood vessel has blocked the arteriomatous fat. As long up to 70% black, nothing to worry. But see here in the acute stage, the black one you can see here, the thrombus may occur in the blood vessel, or the vessel may go for severe spasm. So when you are facing the corona now in the globally, this acute stress, many patients because not get admitted because of coronavirus, the fear of acute stress bring them to us. I've seen 3 or 4 patients recently, young person, he never had like that. And because of acute stress and worrying about future and everything, he had a heart attack. Luckily, we came in time, we were able to save him. So please remember, chronic one blocking, acute one clotting, or it may spasm. All the three is enough. Please remember, all the three can be prevented if you're going to be a positive attitude. And negative stress, all the things, most important thing, you can see the slide. It is one of the important thing. Your immunity will come down and you are prone for all diseases. So only way is please remember, like be positive, calm, accept. And if you must meditate sometime like that, thereby your immunity will go up. That's what I used to say number of occasions. So how are going to be like that? You may all ask what Chockalingam you are telling like that. How is it possible? Please remember, the 3 things you must accept it is to accept the things we cannot change, courage to change the things we can, and wisdom to know the difference. So please remember, the cosmic laws now to live for us is, please remember, law of change, law of acceptance, law of responsibility, law of alignment with real love and affection. So generally they say, highest in a heart attack is between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. And you may ask, which day is the one? Monday. One person in Canada, when I gave a talk recently, he was telling, very nice talk, chuckling, hereafter get up at 9 a.m. Doesn't matter when you are getting up. Must have very good sleep. Even now, this time of corona, you must have minimum 6 to 7 hours. I will stress that one. And all this one, very important, very despite of anything, if you are going to become a, keep your mind waves in the alpha, calm down by meditation, it decreases sympathetic activity, increases parasympathetic, thereby your melatonin, endorphin will be increased and immunity will enormously go up. That's what I told you. And good news I want to give. Suppose someone is having a block about 95% or even 19% block here. If they are going to follow the positive lifestyle, what I have told you just now, for 1 year from today, because the endorphin, melatonin, serotonin, please see here this slide. By 1 year, it disappears totally. And another important point here I would like to bring. You may be born with diabetes, sugar, or heart attack because you have been transmitted from your parents. So we are not responsible for anything, but genetic transmission, even for their own. Good news is, if you are going to have positive lifestyle and positive thinking, for 9 years from today, all genetic one disappears because the genes are all, the carrying genes of disease are all epigenes or phenotypes, so it also goes off. So we may be born with the normal genes. My parents are good. I am born with a normal gene. But if you're going to have a negative lifestyle from today for 9 years, please remember, because negative lifestyle, all diseases will come and get attached to the genes and will transmit to the next generation. So that genetic modulation to positivity and negativity, it is only lies in your mindset, a positive mind and positive lifestyle. And as I told you how it is going to be. And once you get a heart attack or acute distress, what you see in corona, we cannot take a buy time. The golden hour for heart attack, the golden hour for any heart acute respiratory distress coronary syndrome, we must go to the doctor and he must be in intensive care. And then you do all the tests, especially CT angio. Here in corona, CT chest will give a very good clear idea about that. And with the all supported treatment, many patients they become all right. Despite only 1% they may lose. To tell the fact, even today, if I get a heart attack, 100 people, let them be in America, let them be in India, 2% of people we cannot save them at all. So corona disease mortality is less than the mortality of the heart attack. Please remember that. Don't get become panic because it's a social spread. Because human to human spread and it's acute process, one are really scared and how we must bring it out from this corona. And then various procedures you may do for a coronary artery disease, like stenting, bypass, pacing, transplant artificial. Please remember, all are only temporary procedures. So permanent cure, what I'm saying lifestyle, even for corona, it's not a cure. So effective prevention is the slide is very important. See here, how calm you must be, how vegetables and fruits we must take, regular exercise we must do, keep the weight, and please avoid smoking. Never go even near smokers. Avoid alcohol. In doing that, your immunity increases, and at the same time, not only protecting you from coronavirus, your cholesterol will come down, sugar will come down, pressure will come down, and it's beneficial for and resulting in normal cure or regression of coronary vessels. There's going to be regression in the coronary vessels. Please remember, it will be 100% protective from corona itself. So, as I told you initially, you need a money, but never become unhappy in earning money. As I told you earlier, this is the slide I like to stress once again. The value of money, it increases by adding zero as long you are alive and present. That's what I used to say. Work as worship, work is worship, and work and worship. And you must be able to balance work and life now. So very important. You must do it constantly. And you must sleep nicely. Minimum, please remember, sleep is a very great meditation. Once you will go to the alpha mind of calm, definitely. So before going to bed, just meditate for a minute or two. Come off from the your TV, phone, everything minimum at least 1 or 2 hours before sleeping, and you must sleep nicely. And please remember when you are sleeping, try to sleep with a left lateral position like this, the arm and legs in this one. Once you go to bed, you must be able to get sleep within 7 minutes, and minimum you must sleep for 7 hours. It's very good for you. So sleep and happiness is like a butterfly. You want to catch, it will go away from you. Be happy, it must come and sit where I want. Among all the nuts, may ask you number of times which one contain lot of cholesterol. Many will say all men are cashew nut. Please remember, none of the nuts contain cholesterol because all vegetable origin is zero cholesterol. You must take food of seven or way சாப்பிடுங்க. Seventh taste of நகைச்சுவை. If you are going to take, it's good for you. The food tips I want to say, avoid full stomach meals, take off stomach, quarter stomach water, quarter empty. And before going to bed, you must take your dinner 3 hours before. Never exercise after meals. Breakfast nicely, lunch less, dinner much less. And you must constantly hydrate yourself. Minimum you must take 3 to 4 liters of water. So better to fast than live on fast food. தயவுசெய்து ஆயிலை குறைத்து உங்கள் ஆயிலை கூட்டிக் கொள்ளுங்கள். And very important news I would like to give for all our friends. If your HDL cholesterol, high density good cholesterol more than 50 milligrams, naturally bad cholesterol become less than 100 because liver balances its cholesterol constantly. So how are we going to bring that HDL cholesterol not in your food or in your drugs only keeping optimal weights, meditation, regular exercise, cessation from smoking and alcohol, your HDL cholesterol go up, your immunity will go up when the HDL cholesterol goes up, and there is no question of become a victim of corona. So please, ability may be good. Never, avoid obesity. I don't believe in horoscope, but I believe in that shorten a waistline, lengthen lifeline. This infantile obesity, one must be careful. Children are prone, but much more they are prone when they are infantile obesity because immunity brings them very much. You know that just used to show that when they invented TV, it was so big. The person who was watching like that, like that. See, now that TV has become slim, the person watching has become, they become victim of everything. Just I used to say, one person at midnight, 1 o'clock, a person called that doctor, he was telling me whatever see I am seeing is too, because that person has taken alcohol at 11 p.m. For the doctor came out and said, why four of you have come to see? It's not that Chockalingam. Please remember smoking how dangerous, just like a bullet, how it destroys all the organs. You know that lift invented by Otis in Chicago 132 years back. Very important thing. Even today, I am the eighth floor of Cardiology Institute. Till today, Chockalingam never used even once lift to go up to my room in the eighth floor. I always climb up. ஒரு புது லிஃப்ட் மேன் வந்தான் சார் லிஃப்ட்ல வாங்கலன்னா ஏன்பா தொந்தரவு பண்றீங்க லிஃப்ட்ல வாங்க சார் மேல சீக்கிரம் போயிடலாம்னாரு. But that one to avoid only I'm using that exercise is a mandate. So please remember, when you're going to meditate, when you're going to do aerobic exercise, the mental ability, stability, immune system increases, we can very easily overcome the coronavirus. Just I used to say this, the couple after marriage, she was asking her husband that if I die, will you construct a Taj Mahal? That poor husband said, okay. After 1 week, he was telling her wife, my dear, I even purchased the land, why you are postponing that? So please read this one. He wants more, still more, till is no more. That's not life. It's very important. Everything is fast life, fast food, fast communication. Heart beats faster. Life also ends faster. So please avoid hurry, worry, curry to get buried. So if you're going to avoid these things, definitely we can overcome corona. As I told you earlier, the distance between the two, where you are born to you are this one, you can extend the line, shorten it, but follow whatever thing, you can extend it beyond even 100 years. Is there any life after death? Definitely, if you're going to donate your organs, you may live another life too. So keep a line up, you live longer. I used to say that. பழமொழி is வாய் விட்டு சித்த நோய் விட்டு போகும். What I will say is, வாய்த்து சிரித்தால் நோயற்றே வாழ முடியும். What I'm saying, calm, happy, and humor. I may be even clapping, which I may not see or hear you. But please remember, in doing like that, the palms, all organs are imprinted. If you're going to clap, by acupressure, they are stimulated. The stimulation goes to the brain. From there, it goes to all the organs to make you function minimum for 100 years. So improve immunity by this technique. So life is a rainbow. It will appear and disappear. As a rainbow contains 7 colors, you must have 7 characters are within you. Humanity, humility, honesty, holistic, everything. And you must have that வளர்ந்து கொடுக்கிற மாதிரி your life becomes rainbow. And the rainbow colors are in the fruits and vegetables and skin only. Please take that one with the skin. But here now, you must thoroughly wash it. See that you don't transmit any viruses through this one. And out of 7, at least do 2 exercises, 1 aerobic. Make this meditation and yogasanas are mandatory. No, no, Choklang, I won't follow any of these things. Then even then in my house there will be rainbow. But see that rainbow of different colors and injections like that. Please remember, for corona infection is only a supportive treatment, symptomatic treatment. Till today, there is no curative or vaccination. We must much more careful. So without medicine, must be able to save. So at least you have been healthy only in your fingertips. Control yourself. Alternate if necessary. Delete the unwanted things. So life is a calculation. As you see that, I convert the symbols and calculation as life. Add good things, deduct bad things, multiply knowledge, divide your time, live in balance. We ought to live for 100 years. So I used to say that yesterday is a broken pot, tomorrow is a cat on the wall, today is that what you see that வீணை. What I call it in Tamil, நேற்று என்பது உணர்ந்த பானை, நாளை என்பது மதில் மீது இருக்கின்ற பூனை, இன்று என்பதுதான் கையில் இருக்கின்ற வீணையை ரசித்து வாழ வேண்டும். We must always look at the top. Now is the most important. Nothing else is very important. We must know the value of present and now. So whatever thing think good for all, speak good for all, do good for all. Never copy anything from others. You will definitely fail in the examination. So please make a note of my numbers. Everything it is there. Anytime you can contact me. Those who are all listening, minimum up to 100 years, be my friend. If you come to Chockalingam as a cardiologist, I will try to give a prescription only when you cross age of 90 or 100. So now I conclude my talk. If there was some disturbance, any of them made it. All right, you all will enjoy. Now I am ready to take your questions.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Chockalingam, sir. Audience, if you have any questions, is the time to ask doctor whatever you feel like. Please raise your hands. We can ask you can ask the question directly to him, or you can type your questions in the question and answer block. So I'll read out to doctor, and the doctor will reply to you. Doctor, there's few questions which have popped up in the question and answer session. I'll read it one by one to you.
Okay.
The first question is person is name is Rajiv. He's asking what is the social distancing what we have to follow in a workshop.
Okay. The social distancing minimum is better 2 meters, 6 feet. The reason why 6 feet is the droplet infection by chance. This luckily the coronavirus is 100 nanometer. So because of heaviness, it cannot go more than 3 feet, okay, up to 6 feet. So the social distance of 6 feet is even if the infected person close to you, you may not directly come in contact with direct droplets. And indirectly, we must take care of because of the sanitizing, frequent hand washing, and wearing the mask like that. So in the factory, you must keep the distance minimum 3 feet because in the factory, you hope that there is nobody. But whenever if you see any person, feel that he may transmit, so that he may extremely quite careful in that.
Yeah. The next question is Mr. Sriram. You wanted to ask some question. Please ask the question, please. Your mic is on.
Yeah, doctor just now told that the droplets survive in different surfaces, different for different times. Will it be in the air? And even if we wear a face mask, will it affect us?
No, if it is going to be in the air, and if you're going to have that surgical mask like that, definitely it won't go in. And if you're going to keep in the air at the distance of 6 feet, the chances are very, very remote. But only
Yes, sir,
if you're going to touch it, and if the surface contact in your hand, and if you don't wash your hand by chance, if you're going to touch, Definitely through the nose. To the eyes, how does it? Because it cannot go from the eye into direct in the blood or something. Because eyes are connected to the nose, there's a duct. So eyes, the tear will go to the nose, then every time it will enter only to the respiratory tract infection. So if you are going to swallow, it will die in the stomach. So only way it will go into our body is through our respiratory tract, the trachea. Once it goes to the respiratory tract, is a place where that will survive, multiply, will get into our cells, and will produce enormous complications, respiratory, like pneumonia, picture, and everything. So a very important thing, one must be careful in this type of washing, masking, social distancing. Everything is very important.
Yes. Thank you, doctor. There's another question. I think he's a student, I guess. His name is Ajay Krishna. He's asking, the virus is an RNA virus. So, will it mutate to other viruses? Is the question he's asking.
No, this RNA virus of COVID-19, it will be constantly mutating. All viruses, suppose you are going to find out a vaccine for that now today, COVID-19, definitely by that time, it will constantly, this COVID-19 itself, the COVID-2, 2002, all the things, 2020, this 20 now becomes 2030, all the viruses, they'll be mutating itself, different shapes and forms will take, and it will be, they won't come and affect us straight away. All the things will occur only in animals. But like, see that viruses cannot harm any animals, let it be birds, maggots, or anything that won't be affected. It became a part of their living. As you have got lot of viruses in the colon, they're all biotics that won't affect us. This virus is not good for us, that's all. But they'll be constantly mutating. So this procedure, what you are following, this hygiene, social distancing, all the things must be our emotions, our food, exercise, constantly try to improve our immunity. That's a very important point.
Yes. Thank you, doctor. There's some technical problem in switching on the mics. So request you to all type in the questions in the question and answer session. There's another question, doctor. One of the participants is saying they are wearing the mask for 8 hours. So he's not able to wear the mask. They're working in 8 hours and they're not able to wear the mask even for 3 hours. They're finding it very difficult, and he finds it very difficult to breathe and lack of oxygen, he says. So what would be any remedy in spite of wearing a mask, he's asking.
The very important thing is, even for doctors when you are doing surgery or procedures, it's not easy thing. But after some time, you'll get used to that. So only getting adopted for that. But my personal feeling, when you are keeping this, your company, factory where you're working, you're very sure there is no corona possibility, because once you go out, you must, even now the recent one is ultraviolet, disinfectant, all the things can be done. When you don't have any chance, because factory cannot create corona unless you go and infect that factory and others like that. So after some time, you may not be, you are very sure that factory is free from corona. So it all depends how these people, those who are coming in, how you are going to transmit human to human. When the chances are not there, even known persons without any problem, and they may not need to have mask during working provided. But same person go out in unknown places, wherever you go out, then you must be extremely careful, including shopping, everything. So industry you must be, if you're going, industry health you are going to take up, after some time very sure, then there may not be need to wear the mask at all when you are working. But we cannot do it now, go away with that, because we won't be knowing, because there are asymptomatic transmitters, they won't have any symptoms. So at least another, my personal feeling, 2 weeks now, at least 3 months like that, then we know how it fed off. By the time we all will develop herd immunity, thereby you won't need to worry about this corona. We will definitely win the corona war.
Yeah. Another question is monsoon which is coming up in places in the up north. So
Which one?
uh, once the monsoon comes, corona, because there is no end to it. So people are worried about their toddlers taking out, or how do we protect during the monsoon? Whether the corona will increase or how is it is the question.
But generally, that especially coronavirus in relation to climate does not matter much. But any diseases during summer, the reason is, suppose any surface the virus is there, because hot sunlight it won't tolerate. Suppose the glass is going to be there for 3 or 4 days, the same glass is outside, it will kill in hours. So that climate is very important one. Droplet one is going to be in the summer, hot summer will kill that one. So that is very important positive point for our tropical country. But temperate is very important, but that is not the sole important thing. Anything in relation to the dose of virus, whether direct or indirect contact at that particular point. But overall, summer will definitely beneficial for our people because of the sunlight and the rays of that one. It is negative for the viruses, good for us.
Okay. Next question is, usually doctors say 7 hours sleep is good for health, but PM is sleeping only for 3 hours, and he's in at very good health. How is it possible? Should we also follow the same? Is the
No,
question
no.
by
Who said 3 hours sleep? Who said good for?
no, PM is sleeping for 3 hours. He says Prime Minister is sleeping for 3 hours. So
Prime Minister.
justify that.
No, there are some, I know that, but even for them, it may look healthy now, 3 hours, 4 hours. Best thing is, you want all the organs to regenerate. The best way for the organ that has been working for, say, about daytime, at least 1/3 of our day, work for 16 hours, sleep for 8 hours, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. If not, 8 hours, 7 hours. If you sleep lesser time, definitely the organ function will go down gradually. But one concept is, the person who's working for, suppose sleeping only for 3 hours, 20 hours, 21 hours is working. For example, PM or any person, if a person is going to work for 21 hours, and if you're going to effectively enjoy when he's working awake, maybe it's good, but overall, better to have that 7 hours, a minimum 6 hours of sleep. That is what I personally feel.
Another question is, how do we sanitize packages which we receive from several vendors right now during the COVID situation? So there is polythene bags, tetra packets, or cartons. How do we disinfect them?
Okay, there are various ways. This way, same way, we must be having the disinfectant spray. We must use it. We must not touch the very, very important thing, because they're carrying one. That too, if you're going to import from foreign countries, you're going to carry with a cold climate like that, one must be very, very careful. You must take all precautions when that anyone that is a potential carrying the virus, take all precautions as the individuals are taking. You must disinfect it totally, no doubt about it.
Next question is, recently I have seen a few videos on improving our immunity by working on lymph nodes by giving a gentle massage around the ears or doing something butterfly exercises in yoga. Will it work?
No, no, all those things, no, don't believe that. Don't believe that.
Okay. Next question
Right.
is there
Yes.
is there are 200 employees in a factory. So the doctor is checking their BP and temperature screening and
Correct.
inquiring their symptoms. Whether this is acceptable or anything to be added into it as a factory.
A very important thing is you must have the temperature thermal checkup because the first thing will be manifestation of pressure. I mean temperature and blood pressure and routine things it can be. So thermal screening is a must apart from routine thing. When you're going to suspect something, then PCR is the only solution it can give. Even a slightest suspicion, if the person is going to come as a worker, he says, my neighbor had this one or surrounding place like that, he must be screened before you are allowed to enter to the factory. So he must be screened and see that he is negative from COVID. You must take every precautions.
Doctor, nowadays after COVID, there is a lot of usage of sanitizers. Uh, if you see a sanitizer, if we use it, since it is an alcohol base, it can cause flames for your hand, knowingly or unknowingly, and you don't see the flames also in your hand. So, okay, in hospitals, there's no they have to use it, but in industry, when you use a sanitizer and go weld something, a spark can ignite a fire, which nobody can know what is happening in it. So, in that cases, should we use sanitizers or should we use something else instead of sanitizers?
Because sanitizer is highly inflammable. Very important point. Nice thing you brought out. One must
Yeah.
be very careful. In that case, best thing is washing them with the soap and water. And if you're going to wash about say 15 seconds, 10 seconds enough, 20 seconds all right, that is enough. No need to use sanitizer at all.
Okay.
Be very careful.
Yeah,
But
because
some may be even allergic to sanitizer. Some may be even become very dry skin. They cannot use that. So
yes,
soap and water is the very important, very best way of doing that.
yeah, I'm one of them. I'm allergic to sanitizers, so I
Uh,
asked the question.
good, nice question.
Sudarshan, you can
And
come back to the questions which
Tina, how was that presentation? Went on well about after that
So,
PowerPoint?
sir, still questions are there, sir.
Please, I am ready to answer. How
Sudar,
many totally attended for this
point,
meeting?
About 100, sir.
Okay.
He's saying the same question you have answered.
regarding the vegetables.
Yeah. So they are asking the question: how do we take care of vegetables? Vegetables come from various vendors. So many
Yes.
hand changing happening. So how do we take care of vegetable washing?
Now, before that, please avoid purchasing peppers. Peppers better to avoid it. And at least we can see the news and everything because paper may carry. One must be very careful because it's transmitted through many. So I stopped buying peppers now. Newspapers avoid. As for vegetables and fruits, one must be very careful because you put it in a warm water or slightly water, allow it to be there in the water, little bit table salt you put it in that one. The vegetables, fruits minimum for 10 to 15 minutes, rinse it nicely, and then after rinsing it, bring inside, and then you must wash your hands thoroughly. Then you will be safe. Once you are going to cook the vegetables like that, there is no risk at all. If you are going to take any vegetables and fruits as a raw, one must be careful because eating nothing will happen. When it go to the mouth, the virus will go to the easiest way because you'll be constantly the nasopharynx. The virus will go in through breath inside. That is why it get transmitted. Not by taking food, one must be very careful. You must wash thoroughly and everything.
So another question is now that few states have started their factories. So the major worry right now is once we go to the factory, okay, you're getting disinfected. But while coming back to your home, what is the procedure one person should take to enter a home or disinfect in his house?
Very important. From the factory is no problem. When you're coming and in middle, you may get infected. So whenever you are entering, you feel you must take all precautions. One, you must wash yourself thoroughly, and especially the hands, very, very important. And legs also very important. Thoroughly, you must wash your hands and face, everything. And then enter the house. So whatever the chappals or shoes, what you have, you must be outside. And you must not wear, or if you are going to wear any chappals like that, you must have wear chappals of indoor only. So never mix up. Thereby you won't get transmit that one which you are going to carry and transmit to the persons in the house. So one must be extremely careful in that, at least for some time. But it's difficult, but very important. As life is concerned, we have to undergo all precautions we must take. And imagine when you are all talking about yourself and factory coming, and what is that position of Dr. Chockalingam or any physicians or doctors and paramedical nurses like that, they must be extremely careful. That's not true opinion. It's a life we have to face it.
Another question is about plasma therapy, which is getting implemented. Is it still under research, doctor, or
Yes, it is there, but not yet proven now. Whether that will be of, it needs lot of stages of that. So just like that, because it is containing antibodies, there's a good scope is there. Because infected one, when they get discharged, that serum will contain, plasma will be, but not yet proven one. How long it will stay, how long it will be useful, how it must be, all in studies. The same thing they are spending millions of dollars in finding a vaccine. And to be, not that I am skeptical, even the AIDS for so many years, they have not found out the vaccine for the AIDS is only a virus. So it is not an easy thing to find a vaccine and much more difficult to find out the antiviral because virus is the one unless you arrest it. It's got multiple forms, multiple way of entry. Once it goes in the cells, it becomes, within the cells, it destroys. For example, antibiotics, antiparasite, antifungal is the one very easily. Any viral one, till today, is just like a cancer. We don't know that. So there must be a science. If we are going to apply more and more intelligence, and science will definitely give a clue. Once the moment if we find a medicine for virus, I am confident you are getting a medicine for cancer also. It is just like that. You don't know it. They are all finding it difficult to find out how because that it only thing is prevent that virus getting into us. Once after getting into that, various things to improve immunity, suppress that one, curing one. So far, no. As per this type
uh,
of modern viruses.
doctor?
Hello.
Since
Hello.
the masks and all these things are getting scarcity, and it is not available for the doctors also these days, and people are buying it in a very fast manner. So instead of that, can they use handkerchief? If they use
Yes,
handkerchief or
it is.
some other
For
cloth, how long?
nothing. Cotton handkerchief is really good, no doubt about it. We can
Okay.
use it safely. At least you can bring it home, wash it, you can wear it like that.
Okay.
And definitely you can use it.
And usually a vaccine to come to a picture, it usually takes 5 to 7 years, is what people are saying. So if we take corona right now, it's a pandemic and it is growing and growing. There's no stoppage as such in India right now, even after the lockdown. Uh, the vaccine is also getting delayed and the virus is not also getting subdued. Do you think it will run for another 1 year or 2 years down the
It
line?
may, it may be. See that India, luckily, our mortality is much less globally if we are going to compare. Our immune system is like that, our way of, even though we are not so hygienic, even though you are so much crowded, because we develop immunity ourselves because of various things, and partial to this also. In developed countries, they never have that immunity at all because they're all well cultured, well hygienic, social distancing, everything is there. So they are not able. That's the reason why the mortality is very high there. Ours is not there. By chance, it becomes a phase 3 or 4 in our country, it becomes extremely difficult. You won't have beds, you won't have that supporting system for symptomatic or supportive treatment, we will get into that. That's the reason why our both central state government are in preventing social distancing, only thing nobody can guess when the curve will become static and decline. The moment it declines, it becomes phase 5 that you are expecting. You hope we all must join together to fight and win this corona, no doubt about it. It's a great bundle. All the things are hypothetical. When it will end, when will be like that? Even they say we're going to lift the curfew and lockdown, one must be extremely careful. My personal feeling, another 6 months to 1 year, unless we see how our society behaves to the corona, one must be very, very careful, extremely careful.
Well, combined question from to 5 6 people. Suppose if we are starting a factory right now, what are the precautions one person should take for the workers and for the people who are inside the factory, and what sort of water should they drink? What is your points for a person who's starting a factory? A
No,
precautionary matter.
because factory people working at different groups, they will come. Different transportations from different geographical area, all must be screened before they enter into the factory. The factory becomes a closed atmosphere. So they all must be thoroughly screened. One, for the benefit of workers, they must be screened. And for the benefit of once they enter in, they must be. So all precautions they must take. No two opinion. It's not an easy thing, but it's a mandatory for them to take care of. As far as the water is concerned, any good water is enough. As much as possible, if possible now, avoid fridge waters and plain water, boil it, and is warm if we take it is good for us, throat and everything. And take, if you're going to have thirsty for 1 tumbler, take extra 1 tumbler. If you're going to more and more hydrate, our respiratory tract resilience will go up, our immunity will go up. In dry, dehydrated, underhydrated, the immunity will go down, especially respiratory tract, and they were prone much more for the virulent effect of COVID. So keep the hydration very, very important, and especially take warm water. And you must take, you have been taking 2 liters, 3 liters, take extra 1 liter of water is very good. 2 salt water, take 1 ounce of warm water, put 1 tablespoon of table salt, gargle your throat morning after brushing your teeth and before going to bed, keep the throat clean with the salt water, warm water, gargling is very good.
Yeah, sir, what
Hello.
is this hydrochlorine that I am not able to
Hydroxychloroquine.
hydrochloroquine tablet?
Yes.
Is it good for patients who are COVID affected?
Uh,
Question by Kalyan Chakravarti.
Now, what they say that the drug that has been used for malaria is not proven yet. Supposed to improve the general immunity of that, but I won't say the treatment for it if you take it whether you can prevent all those things are only hypothetical. It is not yet proven whether this hydroxychloroquine will prevent or will improve. We don't know about it.
Doctor, while you are presenting, we have done few polls for you. There were few polls which we have run during your presentation. So we have
Which one?
asked the audience which is dangerous. Is it COVID or the stress? 90%, 95% of them are answered that the stress is more dangerous than COVID.
Yes. please remember, all diseases start from your negative thoughts, mental stress, anxiety, worry. What happens immediately in the negative thoughts that adrenaline and cortisol increases. These two will reduce your immunity like anything. Thereby, as I told you, the life cycle, positive lifestyle, negative lifestyle. This negative lifestyle induces all diseases. Your sugar, pressure, cholesterol, because of all the things. So, in the negative stress, when the immunity goes down, anything will invade you very easily. So, the lifestyle diseases, definitely heart attack, cancer also lifestyle disease, accident also lifestyle disease. Because of negative lifestyle, negative thoughts, if immunity go down, definitely coronavirus is a, if it feel that you are a good candidate for them to become more active.
Yeah, Doctor, I have a
Doctor,
personal question actually on this. Before I give it to Dr. Sriram, he has a question. So my personal question is, my father is he's having a very stressful life, and I'm also having a very stressful life. So, and in your presentation, you have been clearly mentioning that one person has to do some exercises or yoga or something to keep his life in a steady format. People like us, we go across and we have a continuous work or something. How do we are not finding time to do exercises for ourselves? How do we put it in our brains to make ourselves work for it?
Very interesting, very important question. The reason why you are telling is a stressful. Remove that mindset, stress. The stress is the one, negative one. You are going to invite diseases. So, what is the purpose of becoming stressful and inventing diseases? Is this the aim for you to live? Why you want to be stressful? For what reason? Tell me one reason that gives you stress. I will answer your question.
My work gives me a lot of stress.
In that case, leave the work, stay at home.
I'm staying at home, doctor, now.
That is much more stressful. Please remember what they used to say in Tamil. Saying that Thurildan Deivam. What you are working is worship. Work is as worship. Why I'm saying this one? If you're going to be happy, even as a PM works for 20 hours, happiness will make them to be live healthy. Even in that situation. So the reason is when you're working now, the people above will give pressure on you. The people below, they may not do to your satisfaction. Because you are stressed and if you get a heart attack, you mean to say your boss will accept, oh, he's a nice person. Your junior will say, oh, my boss has got heart attack, I will become more sincere hereafter. Please remember, the world, not in one person will change 1%. They will live like that. They will justify what they are. We must be prudent enough and intelligent enough that we must accept a job is a worship. You must work as a worship. What you are earning in material, the moment if you are going to be, the stress will be there. Make it as a positive. That is, even the situation, be happy. Because suppose you are working in the company that is successful, if you're going to leave the company, if you're going to join other company, much more stressful maybe, may not be. So stress is the one, your attitude towards what you are seeing. So the environment won't change for you. You must make yourself fit to the environment and be happy. So
Yes.
same one, do it happily, that's all.
That's a very beautiful answer. Thanks, Doc. So I'm just handing over the mic to Dr. Sriram. He has some few questions to you.
Please, please, please.
Hello, is it audible?
Yes, Sri Ram.
Sir, uh, is it, well, suppose we are using Dettol water for hand wash, sir. Is it okay, sir?
Dettol.
Ah,
Okay,
suppose
you
the
can
entrance
use.
itself, I am putting a Dettol in a this one, some bucket or something. People wash their hand and come inside the factory,
But
no?
that is also enough. But only thing is, they must wash at least. That is equally good. Dettol we can use, no problem at all. No need to use all the time sanitizer. And they used to say in our custom, warm water, any soap you can use it. As a matter of any soap will destroy that. And you can add little what is that, manjal, tamarind. Oh, no, not that one. What is manjal we call it?
Hello?
What is it? In English, manjal.
Turmeric.
And turmeric you can use it. That is really good. It's anti-infectant. Anything you use it, but use it with the water. You can don't use Dettol as such. You must dilute the Dettol and use it.
What is the best way to screen?
Yes, you can use it.
Screening workers entrance.
Hello, Dr. Sriram,
Yes.
are you having still another question?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
So what is the best way to screen?
Best way of
Best way to screen the worker. What is the best way?
best way will be thermal test for temperature. Anything they must be screened, and before they enter, they must be washed thoroughly. And for at least for some time, they must wear a mask. So, otherwise, they can be one need not be so strict about that. They can be provided they don't have any chance of carrying infection to the factory. Very important.
Yes, Dr. Sriram, you have any other question?
Yeah, he has one.
Okay.
He wants to understand about the usage of shoes or chappals inside the office areas because people used to come all the way from their homes or they'll be traveling through buses and other things. So after reaching office, is it really safe to use those shoes or chappals inside the office area? And he has one more question: is it safe to use these sanitizers on their bodies? Because I could see many industries now started using the sanitizers to. People started spraying that all over the places.
That is really not, if I need not be, I don't know that. But hand must be washed.
Okay.
Provided they wear the mask, and as for other things, they don't carry much.
Doctors now they started like spray booths, sanitizing
I
spray.
know that. I know that. There is a spray, disinfectant, and tunnel, and everything. All those things are really not proven effective one.
Okay. And there are few questions related to this groceries. People buy milks and vegetables and other things. They are not sure how to disinfect them or how to clean that off.
But this is very important thing. That is, milk is no problem. It's coming with that thick plastic cover. Put it in the water for some time. Wash it thoroughly. You can use it. No problem. Vegetables and fruits is all right. You can use it after all those things. And see that you all the time must be careful.
Yes, doctor. Cleaning with
Yeah.
water should be helpful, right, sir?
Yes, yes. But only one question is I want to ask you people.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to use 20 seconds washing hands and other things. Now summer is going to come, water scarcity. There will be water even to drink water. Then how are we going to be facing that one? I really don't know that. We can't be using distillery water for washing hands like that.
I was
Then
about to ask you a question.
very difficult. Who is going to address? I am ready to wash 20 seconds my hands every time. Where is the water? I really don't know. It's a big question. Our government only must answer. So
Doc-
providing water to drinks is difficult. Then how about washing? And then washing every time all your clothes when you come out, go in like that. I don't know really.
One
Doctor,
MS Rao,
suppose the
having,
society
I
is
think he is
affected with COVID.
Yes?
If a society is affected with a COVID, like a bunch of apartments are affected with the COVID, how does
Yes.
the society take the precautions or remedy? One of
Very
the
difficult.
flat,
Yes.
one of the flat is infected with a COVID patient, and there are some 200 flats in it. So how do they take the precaution for it?
Very important. The same thing is Kottawad Chavadi. It became a source of infection. Now it's very difficult. Everyone go out, where they're carrying out. It's not an easy thing. It's not a, because that one factory, one full apartment of that, not only that one contained with the 200 people. By the time they would have spread many people like that. So one must be very careful, at least from today 6 months, all precautions, not a single, it's not the government alone can do, everyone individual must take all precautions, at least for my personal feeling, minimum for 1 year you must watch it, how it is going to be. So you cannot start relaxing, okay, they're lifted it, lockdown, you can relax like that. The second wave which comes, I think it may take many of our lives also. So as long we don't know many things, we must be careful. I'm not able to hear you now. Able to? I think your audio muted.
That is a question from Mr. M.S. Rao.
Yes.
M.S. Rao, sir, you can ask your questions now. Rao, sir? Okay, his question is about what about BCG given for immunity? Is that the reason for Indians not being affected?
No, BCG is antibacterial, just like anti-malarial. Does not cannot be immunity for that. Overall, our immunity system is good. Why our immunity system is good? Because we have been living in a crowded, in an unhygienic situation. It is helping us to immunity. So never say hereafter will become unhygienic, that way you can fight corona. No, we should not do like that. We must take precautions. The immunity what you have been having is those who have been exposed to many diseases, you are able to have the immunity overall good. That's all. Precisely, suppose our children, if they come from states to India, when they land up, they become allergic to anything like that, even including water. They cannot, they get it all from, they come here for stay for a week or 10 days, they were all the time sick because they have not exposed our environmental system. They have been protected so much, they are not able to. We have been exposed to everything. That is one of the reasons why the mortality is less now for us.
Doctor, one last question and then we'll close the session. So
Yes,
one question is that right now they're slowly opening the rail travel and then air travel by June or July, I think. So
yes.
how safe it will be? What is the precautions one must take while traveling?
My personal feeling, even to open it up, we must not take up any travel, especially air travel overseas, minimum for 6 months to 1 year. Because you won't be knowing how it is going to be. It's not an easy thing. So individually one must be taking care of health by avoiding what all you have been doing. The sightseeing, holiday, touring, meeting in a common place, traveling for social gathering, all these things should be avoided. Because you don't know who is infecting us, who is carrying us infection. So better to avoid it. So during this COVID lockdown period, now good positive things are air has become very pure, less polluted, noise pollution has come down, all unnecessary expenditure has come down. So expenditure less down. The economy fell down because people started using only what they wanted. They have been buying only unwanted things. So the economy was growing. It's a lesson we are learning from. You know what the reality is. But one must be careful, not just like that taking up all
Yes,
wedding occasions, everything.
yes, doctor. But one cannot avoid domestic travel because, as you said, economy is going down, and then certain states are opening up their factories and working and all. So slowly there will be state transports will be opening, and then people will domestic travel will start opening. How do we protect, and how does the state get isolated from this? What
Yeah.
inspections should we do?
As an individual person, they must take care, see that they don't have been any infection. And then traveling for profession, they have to travel. They can't go all the time sitting at home, impossible. So they must travel by the time all precautions what you have said. And overall, you must watch what is the trend of corona in our country. We will know the graph of it, how it is coming down. But we must have a very, very careful watch over that. We cannot take it for granted, no doubt about it. It should be like that for a long time because the only way of sitting at home, okay, how long we can sit? What will happen? So everything become very difficult, but we must learn lesson. And ultimate life is very important. For that, you must move about because human being when moving alone can live, moving alone can earn. We cannot when you stop moving, everything will stop stand still. It is not possible. So human to human, because it transmitted corona, one must be careful in everything now. Very difficult. It's not easily you can say you can sit here and talk. Those who depend on daily wages, what will happen? They have sustained nearly about 45 days now. Another 15 days, what will happen? What is the food for them? How much government can give them? All the things are really very difficult,
Uh,
especially.
I'm saying one last question. This is the last question, which is important. So I could not stop the session. The question is, when we start the factory, should we get some sort of certification for the staff and the workers from the medical authorities, stating them like a fitness certificate should be taken from them, because there is certain SOPs which are given by the government stating that if somebody gets affected with the COVID, the responsible person will be the factory owner. So, what
In
sort of certification
that
should be taken from
in
them?
that case, what I suggest, because the nice question you asked me, the only way is they must undergo PCR test. If the PCR test is negative, is really sensitive test, even the asymptomatic people we can detect, so we can make it. Suppose 200 people, even 1,000 people PCR if you're going to do, maybe a good idea you are putting in now because you are interested in the factory, you are interested for the person, those who are coming. But only thing expensive, who is going to buy the expense of PCR test for 200 or 2,000 people? But it may be a good idea so that at least one screening test you must do before make them to enter, will be at least safe. Nice question. How are we going to implement? You only must find out the way of doing that.
Yes, thank you, doctor, for answering all the questions. So
I
I'm
really
just handing over to Srinath. He will take from here. Srinath,
Thank you, Sudarshan. Thank you for being a moderator on this show.
I really enjoyed Srinath, even though initially some problem. I don't know. I hope there is no problem because of my computer like that. But it's always because it's our new technology, but you've done it very well. I hope the slides came out nicely, Srinath.
Yes, sir. It was excellent, sir. It was excellent. Actually, everyone enjoyed it thoroughly.
Very good, very good, very good.
Very
I think
informative. Sir.
where is Mr. Sriram? Can I see him?
That was a comment from one of our friend. Thank you, organizers. Experience speaks. Technology is second only. When technology joined with experience, that is our today's program. That was awesome and super.
Really good, good, good. Where is Mr. Sriram, Srinath?
A minute, sir. He is actually in joining us in a few seconds.
I like to see him.
Definitely,
So
sir.
I hope the time what you have spent useful for our friends and colleagues.
Yes, sir. One minute, sir.
Yes,
Doctor.
please. Yes.
Sir?
Hello, Sriram.
Sir, very good, sir. Actually, there is a disturbance in starting, but after that, it went very well. And a lot of information you are given. And a lot of people are sent a message that they want to share they want PowerPoint of yours, sir.
Please,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
share to everyone
Link it
whatever you have got.
down, and is a very good informative and preventive measures on medicine. And the really very good. Everybody enjoyed it, and yeah, really thanks for your efforts, and you have taken a lot of efforts to prepare all the slides and everything.
Uh,
Really good, sir, and a
I
lot
am
of
really thankful, Sriram, and your friends for the
yeah,
excellent way you are interested in our community, to our
yeah,
friends,
yes, sir.
and communicate to everyone.
Yes,
This
sir.
one meant for everyone.
And only one thing, Dr. Anand program will be organizing next week, not next week, because next week we got some urgency because of the Vaisak disaster.
Okay.
Disaster is recently occurred, so everybody want to know what went wrong.
Please. That is
That
very
we are
important
organizing
thing.
today. Mr. Mandokaran is a Safety Engineers Association president is going to talk about process safety and the Vaisak incident. What we learned from Vaisak incident? Those things he is going to address next week. I also definitely we are going to have a lot of programs like this, and we need your support in future also.
That is
And
forever.
definitely, sir.
I really
Really
appreciate
wonderful.
Sriram for all your things.
You are doing wonderful service. You are a God, really God, and we got because you are given treatment for the great Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, late Perunthalavar Kamaraj, and
Oh,
MGR, and
everyone.
Kalanisthi, and Madam Purichitari, Madam Jayalalitha, and all our safety personnel got treatment from today. Abdul,
And I was telling my
Abdul Kalam,
daughter,
everybody got a treatment from you. Today we got a opportunity to get a treatment from you on the technology through the online. Everybody happy, and that's what feedback we received. Really, it is a very unforgettable moment of in our life. Really, I'll hand over the mic to Mr. Srinath for
as, Sriram,
yes, sir.
Sriram,
Yes, sir.
if anyone tells me thanks, the
Ah.
thanks only go to Sriram and your team only.
No, sir. No, sir. You are like God. You are like God. Your way of treating and talking to, I have observed very much.
Yes.
Whenever you enter the hospital, how you treat, you give the hope for them. You give a smile.
Thank you.
Because more than with medicines, your weights will be very curing them, and very rarely we can see a doctor like you. And really, we are very proud that we are also living when you are living in the world.
Nothing. And
Yeah.
Anand was very much praising about you all. I told
Yeah.
Priya also, you can utilize her after some
Yeah,
time.
definitely. 100%. I'll hand over the mic to Srinath, sir.
Please. Hello, Srinath. I had a
Sir.
wonderful time with you all. I hope everyone enjoyed. You are making Chockalingam more intelligent now after associating with you. Very nice questions. We'll do it in a much better way after some time.
Definitely, sir.
And I'm very thankful to you for Srinath everything. What was the problem initially? Yesterday morning we settled it nicely. Yesterday also, why this today some problem?
We are not sure about it, sir. We'll figure it out, sir.
Very good. If you don't know, I won't know. But anyway, we made it all right. After that, The flow went on very well, Srinath.
Yes, sir.
I am very
That's
thankful to you. Take care. Anytime I will be at your service. You can utilize my services.